Hello, welcome back to Cover True Crime and on an all new extra report. Today's extra report is called Gypsy Rose is scattering and screeching to maintain her victim narrative. If this sounds interesting, please stay tuned. I know, that title is a bit freaky, but hear me out. Ever since Operation Raid, which consists of content creators who are exposing Gypsy Rose's BS and the fraud that she is, she decided to take it upon herself with her little minions and gremlins and now senior citizen group of cult members to call themselves Operation Cockroach. And it's very fitting, if you ask me, because cockroaches are disgusting. And cockroaches like to be in the dark, which is her lies. And when you expose a cockroach and you turn on the light, what happens? They scatter and they screech. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a cockroach screech, but I have, and it was pretty unforgettable and pretty freaky, okay? I'm not gonna go back to that moment of how I heard a cockroach screech, but yes, let's get into this. So it's they scatter, and that's what she's been doing lately. It all started with a story, or was it a post? It started with a story. Posted to her stories that out of nowhere, after her posting a couple of months back, a box that she has is where her trauma lays that she shoves in a closet. She actually now decides to open up her alleged trauma box, and because she's looking for a particular photo. I wonder what particular photo you're looking for, Gypsy. And she has a prescription pad, which I believe that's what she's looking for. And she plops it right on top of these photos and says, "Oh, remember the prescription pad? Here it is after all these years." So it just magically appeared out of nowhere. And the history of the prescription pad goes as follows. Christy Blanchard and Rod Blanchard went to Deedee's house to collect items with the U-Haul truck, okay, to collect some things for Gypsy. If you ask me, Gypsy should not be entitled to anything in that house at all. Nothing, because she unalived her own mother in that house, okay? But she was entitled to the things in there, and Rod and Christy went in there and grabbed some things. And Christy says that she found a prescription pad from Mercy Hospital. But tell me why she spoke about this prescription pad years ago, 8-10 years ago. She never gave it to detectives. Fancy Maselli had something to say about this after she saw Gypsy Rose's story about this prescription pad, and she stated that Christy told her about this prescription pad and Fancy asked for it, and Christy said something that she doesn't know where it's at. Why wouldn't you turn that over into evidence? So it's pretty mind-boggling that it just appears out of nowhere. 10 years later, okay? So you can put two and two together. This is why it showed up, okay? It all boils down to Gypsy Rose's defense. Now, what was said about this prescription pad, it was said that Deedee Blanchard stole this prescription pad. So you figure, if you say that Deedee stole this prescription pad, you can say what they were saying, that Deedee was giving Gypsy so many medications and things like that that would make Gypsy Rose ill, which we all debunked that by her medical records being publicized, thanks to Fancy Maselli, that all of that has been debunked, okay? Gypsy was not taking any medications that she was not supposed to be taking. She was taking the medications for the ailments and illnesses that she had at the time due to her failure to thrive and her 1q211 microdeletion syndrome. But it all boils down to the false defense of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Yeah, so Deedee stole this prescription pad to make, you know, to sign off on medications and such and blah 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 to feed Gypsy these medications. But Gypsy says it herself that this pad has never been used. Okay? What more do you want to do to a woman that you took her life? You already took this woman's life, and you still want to continue to talk about her. It leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth. How could anyone support this Gypsy Roach? And the shit that she continues to do. And as a matter of fact, thanks to Reddit, every time she opens up her mouth and she screeches, this cockroach loses followers. Thank you for Reddit for this one. She lost about 2,000 followers ever since she posted the freaking prescription pad and pictures and this long ass soliloquy about her. Oh, when you're a Munchausen syndrome survivor and this, and I'm gonna show you right here. Here's Gypsy Roach with this nonsense. Looking back at these photos at 34, I see a childhood that bounced between truly normal moments and others that never fully made sense. Some, but not all, the medical situations were necessary, but others were created, exaggerated, or pushed on to me in ways no child could understand. The fact that she says some, but not all, the medical situations were necessary. So she's saying a little bit of truth here, okay? But all the medical situations that she had were necessary, and it wasn't hundreds, okay? And there wasn't multiple surgeries. The only thing that was really extensive was probably just her eyes and the feeding tube. That was it, okay? Because her teeth, she was old enough, she consented to it. It showed on her medical records that she consented to it. She was of age. She was over 18, and her teeth were not in good condition. They were poor. They were rotten. They were no good, okay? And it's not the hundreds. And then she had a biopsy, and she had a lot of Botox injections that she needed. So she's constantly posting this shit, trying to get admiration for people to say, oh my God, you're an inspiration. And it's just disgusting. I don't know when this is going to end, but it's going to end one of these days. And she is shooketh. She is shooketh and she is scattering. And this is the reason why she is resulting to posting her victim narrative and things again, because she has been exposed by so many people. And every time more things come out, she has to try to get ahead of it. But it's backfiring so bad, and I love it. And that wasn't all. In Gypsy fashion, you know, she has to go all the way out there. She has to jump into the water, okay? She took it upon herself to take this prescription pad and had the audacity. The audacity is fucking thick outside. This is why I don't like going outside, because the audacity that people have nowadays is unbelievable. And she is the number one on the audacity. She posted a vlog of herself. She has nothing else better to do with her time. She doesn't have a daughter to take care of. She has to maintain her victim narrative, and she has to maintain her lies. And when you're convicted of a crime, when you're guilty, what do you have to do? You have to prove your innocence, okay? If you're not guilty, you should have nothing to prove. But we all know Gypsy Rose is guilty. And she's not only guilty of unaliving her mother, she is guilty for still slandering her mother while she's in her grave. She is still guilty for continuing this fucking facade and this false narrative that she was this victim. Okay. She is guilty of a lot of things. A lot of things. And it shows. And it shows. Check this dumb shit. And we're not going to play it all because I don't have time for this.
This is like 15 years old. My mom had stole this from a hospital and I wanted to turn it in. Well, like, I could bring it to a pharmacy. Yeah. So I'll shred it for you. All right, thank you so much. Have a good day. You too. Okay, so this is an update to my last video. Please do not zoom in on my gigantic blemish. Sorry, I had to start off that. So this is an update. I Googled where I can take the prescription pad to be disposed of, and Google said that I can deliver it to hand it over to a pharmacy. So a pharmacy is a little closer than a police station for me right now. So I'm going to go and bring it. And I'm going to record the whole thing. So let's go.
Yeah, so this witch actually took time out of her day to return a prescription pad that has been MIA for 8 years since Christy said that she found this under Deedee's bed while she was cleaning out the house, where they took a whole big U-Haul. They took a whole U-Haul to Deedee's house. Like, anything in that house belonged to her. Like, why do you need a whole U-Haul? Okay, disgusting. These people are just disgusting. And you stated that Deedee stole this prescription pad. How do you know she stole that prescription pad? When Gypsy herself admitted to stealing, she used to steal things while she was in her wheelchair and put it underneath her dress. She stole the murder weapon that was used on her mother and planted it in Nick's hand. She steals everything that she thinks she's entitled to. She is an entitled, disgusting, manipulative, conning, sneaky little cunt cockroach. There isn't enough words I can't think of right now to describe this cockroach, Gypsy Roach. Then she takes it and she literally says to the pharmacist, "Hi, this prescription pad is almost like 15 years old that my mom stole." How do we not know that you stole it? I'm pretty sure that pharmacist was looking at her like, "Bitch, bye. You probably stole it." And you know why a lot of people think that you stole it? Because you had an infatuation with Dan Glidewell, who you met way before Nicholas Godejohn, who you were talking to up until the day that you got arrested with Nicholas Godejohn. And he had an infatuation with Ruggs. And in order to bend him to your will, or in order to get him to see you, you had to take your mother's rugs with you to go and be by his side. So what makes us think otherwise, that it was you that stole that prescription pad so you can try to get narcotics for your man Dan? Okay, you look like a fool. She looks ridiculous, and she's just telling on herself, and she's just digging herself in a bigger hole. And I'm just here for it. I am so here for it. And to prove that all of this screeching and scattering of this roach is all about admiration and likes, here we go. This was her last post of the night. "We broke 1 million likes. I would have had 13 million in the last year if I had not deleted my past video. But still, yay. Thank y'all." Who gives a fuck about some likes? Who gives a fuck? I can't remember when was the last time I took a picture and posted it on social media. Like, I have a life, you know? Aside from exposing Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I have a life. I also do commentary on unsolved cases to help with victims and their families, or current news. Gypsy Rose isn't all about my life. Okay, I have a job, I have a family, I have my fur babies, And yeah, this is what she cares about. So this is what she fucking cares about. And like I said, she's just looking more pathetic, and she's going to continue to go down, and I'm going to be here for it to watch the train crash and report on it. So if you reached the end of this video, thank you so much for tuning in and my little rant, because she leaves a nasty stale taste in my mouth. But it is what it is. And if I don't get to talk to you guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you after the holiday. Thank you so much. Don't forget, please take care of yourself and be safe. Bye.